What are you guys doing here? Wow, my voice is I'm sick as a dog. Welcome. As you can see here, now I'm in the middle of packing. But in the meantime, it's gonna be an insane 24 hours until I leave. So much to do, so many places to go, so many things to see. I'm really excited. My brother planned the trip, and I'm going with my dad. It's sort of like a Father's Day family awesome getaway, which one of my favorite trips of all time was also with my brother and my dad back when I was like 15. And it's kind of weird because I feel like when I'm here in my life, everything I do is actually my plan A to get to my main goals. And sometimes some of the things that I have to do, I still have to kind of be somebody that I'm not. My heart said, when I was thinking about where can I go to really write, this felt like the right thing to do. Just like coming to Los Angeles, even though it made no sense, even though it made more sense to go so many other places, New York City. And I'm such a follow my heart kind of guy. It's never led me astray. So I'm really excited. Today's gonna be crazy, so we're gonna follow along, and I'll see you later. Pre-audition, I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm still new to this. Crazy days. So literally, I had to teach. I'm lucky I can teach from a laptop anywhere, but I couldn't get anybody to fill in. And I'm leaving tomorrow, and I had to rent a car to get to this audition. Probably everybody hates me or thinks I'm a total jerk, but I wanted to actually talk about with the audition. And one, I'm lucky that I can do this and that I'm here. And two, it was literally years ago that I saw an interview with the actor who I'm totally blanking on right now, Bryan Cranston. And he said that the day his career changed is when he stopped going into auditions with the energy of like, I'm begging you for a job. I've just had such a journey of inner struggle around these things and being so stressed out. And it feels so freeing to be here and just be happy to be at an audition. But how cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go and kind of just maybe stretch and get in the zone, and I'll see you on the other side. So here I am on the other side, and I'm gonna look at the camera, and I'm just so excited. I'm really proud of what I did. I've been really working on a new technique, because I have a secret for y'all. In case you didn't know, singing is supposed to feel really easy. Like, I'm not a master at all, not even close. Every day that I go to practice, and I practice like every day for a long time, and I feel like a noob every single day, you know? It's crazy, but I totally embrace it now, and trust me, my life has been way easier since I embraced that. I remember reading a book, an interview from Pavarotti. He would practice every note so much that every note was so easy that he would have to like act or pretend like it was really hard to like make it thrilling for the audience. And I used to think like, oh yeah, I'm sure, like, you're just covering for yourself for like the struggle bus, you know? That if I've been learning anything, which I stopped taking voice lessons, by the way, and that does not discredit any teacher I've ever worked with, because holy cow, I've worked with amazing teachers, but I've really feel like I've started to come into my own, stepping away and just trusting my body. And what I'm trying to say is that I feel like when I'm recording myself and I hear when it's what I actually want it to be, it's the easiest. It feels easier than what I had been trying to do for years. I was so proud of myself in this audition because I sang Something's Coming, which I've sang for years. There's an A at the end, optional. And I've been working on like how I sing up there and how I just sing in general. And I used to just so powerhouse through that stuff because I thought that that's what I needed to do to like get that whole sound, that mature sound, that full sound richness. The way that I interpreted all that, it just resulted in all this air getting blocked. And I felt like I was lifting 2 tons every time I had to sing up there like that. And it was hard, and my whole body had to like get involved to produce it. And I lost my ability to act or emote and just be present as a human being in the room because my body was so, every ounce of it was like coming together to like sing this high note. Same thing with a Newsies audition, singing Santa Fe, because I was the only Jack at this callback for the one callback session I went to. So I was singing for like a couple hours, all sorts of stuff with all these different actors. And then finally at the end of the night, it's like 11 o'clock. And they're like, okay, Santa Fe. And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it took so much strength to get that note out. And it was, and it's not right. It shouldn't be that way, by the way. And so I've been working on like how to do this. Like, how do I make these sounds in a way that feels free for me?
was my sophomore year when I started opera workshop. I remember we'd always talk about our goals for the year. My goal every single year of my entire college career was I just want to feel free. I just want to sing and feel free. And that was so seemingly unattainable. I just couldn't figure it out. My mind would think technique, like to get to the freedom. And the point is I've been working on a new way to sing. I'm proud of myself because I went into the audition and I didn't like default to like trying to power through the note under pressure, which was scarier in a way because this new approach, it was so effortless like falsetto that I assumed it sounded like falsetto to everybody else. And I remember I was in the secret garden and I was like probably like 19 years old. And I was singing, there's a part where there's like an octave jump in this trio, beautiful trio. And I remember singing it and it felt so good in my body to sing that. And I remember we finished holding out this long chord where I'm on an A flat, I think. And the director was like, hey, can you like lay off, like you are so powerful up there, like can you sing in falsetto? And I just said yes, because that's what you're supposed to do. But in my head, I was like, I thought I was singing in falsetto. So that was that instance. And then another one, I was singing for a friend's wedding. I've died every day waiting for you. That song, much higher key. And there also was like a bunch of A's up top, A flats or something. I was practicing it, trying to get that connected chest voice because I wanted to sing with power and richness. And like it was expensive and difficult and locked up, and eventually I just knew I couldn't do that for the show. I'm like, I'm just gonna trust. I was working on trusting my air with my voice teacher, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this. And if it kind of sounds like falsetto up top, who cares? My girlfriend at the time, I remember like talking to her. She's like, oh, you were awesome, and she was so sweet. And I was like, I couldn't do it how I wish I could do it, And that was like my motto for a few years. I can't do it how I want to do it. And she's like, well, it sounds great. And I was like, it's like falsetto. And she's like, it sounds full. And she played back a recording and I was like, oh, yo, that does sound full. And then like these moments have stood out to my mind. I've been trying to develop that and be like, maybe singing doesn't have to be hard. Maybe this is how I'm supposed to sing these notes. Can I develop this? And so I've been playing with it for a while and I kind of unveiled it in public for the first time today. I could have been more specific with my acting and things like that. I just didn't put in that time. But I'm so proud of that audition. I'm ecstatic because I tried something new. I trusted it, and I think it worked. It no longer was at Santa Fe where I barely made it through like the high A of that in that audition, or Made of Stone where I was like, thank God I only had to do this one time. In Santa Fe I only had to do it one time, and I was like, thank God. Today, Something's Coming. I sang that 3 times, like back to back. I just sang it, and I could sing this A this way. I could sing it all day. Like, it's so easy. They wanted to hear a bunch of stuff. I sang Goodbye from Catch Me If You Can. They wanted to hear some stuff from Spring Awakening. I sang Shiksa from Last 5 Years. I was just going, and like there was just no fear. I would have sang anything, and that was so sick. So freeing. The other cool thing I want to say that I'm so stoked about, because you have to know like how much I struggled with this for so long. Like the fact that I had this audition and that I am proud of what I did, and could I have done it way better? Of course. But like if I don't get cast, I don't care. Like I just auditioned for a show that I really wanted to do because I wanted to do a show for my family back in Salt Lake. And I got rejected, and it's fine. I mean, of course I want it. But like my honest opinion is that like I must not be what they were looking for. I definitely didn't do my best recording. It was a huge learning experience, and I just didn't do it in advance because I was dreading kind of doing it on film, because that's like my biggest barrier right now in my life. So it was a big learning experience. I still did pretty well. Didn't get the callback. It's okay, but I look at this truly as like there's something more important for me to be doing during this time. This is 3 months of my life instead of rehearsing this show, which artistically I don't really care about, other than like the challenge to make amazing art of it. I always love that. But I mean, I'm working on an album. I'm working towards bigger league things. This is time to keep working my butt off, and maybe something else will happen, or maybe I'll make a connection that will be more important. And like I truly believe these things, and it's so freeing. Oh my gosh. And so today's audition, I don't care if I don't get another callback. I don't care if I don't get a contract. Like, I'm so stoked with this. This is huge for me. And so it went really well. And now I'm sitting here with nothing better to do than to talk into a camera and record until I can finish this drive and go home. But I think I'm gonna probably get a little bit of some of the content taking off tomorrow and all that. So anyway, I hope this was cool, especially any singers. I would love to hear like your own experiences with this journey, like your own, like where you're at. Because I will say, like I know all of these things. My first mentor, it was an actor named Tom Sesma, who was a friend. He's like an uncle of one of my best friends growing up. And I remember going to New York for the first time when I had lunch with him, and he gave me like 4 pillars of advice, and all of them are so true. And one of them was, when you go to an audition, you do the audition, you do your best, and then you forget about it. And I've tried to follow that approach, and I've been pretty good about that for the past couple of years. But it's so easy to know what you're supposed to do, to know, singing is supposed to be free and relaxed and easy, right? You know these things. You know you're supposed to forget about the audition. You know you're not, supposed to get so emotionally attached to the outcome because there's so many factors that you just don't know or can't control. And it's easy to say those rules and those things to live by, but to actually apply them, I still have room to grow there, but oh my gosh, for me versus a couple years ago, totally different place. It's so amazing, and I hope all of you find that place a heck of a lot sooner than I did. But anyway, I'd love to hear where you're at and talk about these things, and that'd be pretty cool. Peace.
And so, in classic Jade fashion, the morning before my flight, I was scrambling to finish packing for 3 weeks, but still managed to squeeze in seeing a few people before leaving. Eventually, I was finally on my way.
Hi.
Would you like a glass of complimentary champagne?
I would love some, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. We picked up a Weary Traveler. Oh, cheers.
As I landed in Dallas, I literally was seeing headlines for something they were calling a travel apocalypse with thousands of canceled flights. It turns out my dad texted me that his flight was super delayed. And honestly, we had boarded our plane and we were basically at departure time and we hadn't heard from my dad at all. So not a great way to start our trip.
All right, we're here with Bri, here with Dad. Dad, you lost some weight. I thought we were saving to get shredded together for the tropical vacation. Not good. Woo!
We'll wait for you, my bud.
Nobody that was on the list got it because everyone paid cash for them. They were sold out.
As of I pulled flights like an hour ago in the sky, and there were still 3 seats available. It's good news. You're in coach.
And a quick 9-hour flight later, we were there. Where, you ask?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.